Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Diaz, me once again. Welcome back to the movie review. aka After I Saw. This time, it is going to be on one battle after another. This movie stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall, as Leonardo DiCaprio plays Bob Ferguson, who has a daughter, but his daughter gets taken away by Sean Penn. And throughout the film, it is a one-on-one battle on trying to get her back, as Leo goes on throughout his journey to find his daughter while also talking to people on the phone and getting outraged and all that. And throughout the film, we see different characters' perspectives from Leonardo DiCaprio and Sean Penn throughout the movie, as well as, many other characters like the daughter and whatnot. And I haven't seen many of Paul Thomas Anderson's movies. I haven't seen a lot of his older ones. I have seen some of his more recent ones. Phantom Thread I really liked. Licorice Pizza, which was my favorite movie of 2021. I thought that movie was incredible. It wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but I thought it was amazing. This movie, I think, might be better than that. In fact, it probably is. It might kind of spoil my rating, but wow, what a roller coaster ride this was, okay? This movie, despite being nearly 3 hours long, never feels like it really feels that way. As soon as the movie opens up, it gives you, something to kind of think about as the movie goes on. Because it goes in a direction that I was not expecting whatsoever. And as the movie went on, it feels like scenes last for 3 minutes and then just moves on. It's a very quick-moving film. And it helps the fact that, the movie is very well shot, and the writing too. Paul Thomas Anderson definitely wrote the hell out of the screenplay. And even when it comes to the lines of dialogue that are supposed to be intentionally funny, they managed to work and bring in more of, the characters' over-the-top performances once in a while. Particularly with Leonardo DiCaprio. There is never a time where he just feels like he's messing up his lines or anything like that. In fact, if you put Leo in any movie, even if it's the stupidest movie possible, if you put him in the next Chipmunks movie, he's still bound to be good in it. And he truly shines in the leading role. He is terrific in this movie. There's never really a time throughout the film where any of the characters have any weak lines given to them whatsoever. In fact, there are some lines that I feel like might be quotable later down the line or maybe in the future because, man, this feels like something fresh from cinema. Because when it comes to movies nowadays, people are always people don't know what to make next, so they're just rebooting everything. While this movie is heavily inspired by other films, this movie definitely feels new from Paul Thomas Anderson's perspective when it comes to his direction and when it comes to the story that the movie manages to bring in, having you really connect. Because I really like these characters, especially the antagonist. Sean Penn really kills it, and I think he deserves an Oscar for this role because he plays one of the best villains of the year. He really stole the show for me. And once we get introduced to him, he's already unlikable. But that's the thing. You're supposed to not like this guy. But that's what makes me like him even more. Paul Thomas Anderson knows how to write characters like this in a way that really had me hooked. As I saw this in a pretty packed theater in IMAX, and everybody was just laughing when it was supposed to be intentionally funny. And there wasn't really a time where people were talking through the movie. And, that's always music to my ears. I can actually focus on the film while, friends are talking to one another because there's a lot to this movie that is very easy to focus on to make you forget that it's over 2.5 hours long. Because, again, editing feels quick, it feels very well paced, and it really helps that the scenery all around is very rich in detail. This is a film that is directed beautifully, written well, and truly what I like seeing when it comes to films like this. It feels like, a film that they probably would have made back in 1990. I mean, of course, there is modern technology used, but hey, it doesn't hide the fact that I still feel like a movie like this could be made in the 90s, just without that type of stuff. But it's really it's really almost about everything that truly makes this movie shine, because Paul Thomas Anderson, I know he's been known for making like some of the best movies in history, like There Will Be Blood or films like that. It shows that, there are times where people have mentioned that he kind of has lost a little bit of his touch, when that really hasn't been the case. He's really learned throughout his like over 30 plus years of filming what he can do to bring more people in, because this movie knew how to be entertaining. Even though it's not really packed with, huge amounts of action. I mean, there is some gunplay here and there, and there's this really excellent car chase sequence. It still manages to bring in the entertainment, even when it comes to the dialogue. It never feels like the dialogue ever feels stale, or it ever feels like, Paul Thomas Anderson just doesn't know how to write a screenplay and just makes it feel all messy. But the story is actually very well written, where oftentimes it allows you to connect the dots on, the overall, I don't know how to put it, like, the overall, like how this connects with the beginning and the last act. Because, of course, you kind of know what to expect when it comes to later down the line, after, the first, close to after the first hour or so. But I'm not going to go any deeper into it, because you have to watch the movie for yourself. In the end, guys, One Battle After Another is truly one of Paul Thomas Anderson's greatest films in quite some time. And I know this is coming from a guy that hasn't seen much of his films, but I do want to see more of those films now, to see what exactly he took from those films to put into this one that just made it so great, because it's almost like he put all those films to one in terms of, his style of filmmaking. It's quick, it has great characters, great writing. It truly had me connected. I liked the story, or no, scratch that. I loved the storyline. It manages to, take different ideas while also making it feel like it still feels new. It's a film that has been inspired by many other films, but Paul Thomas Anderson really managed to make a film that definitely feels like it's something that we haven't seen before, and just make you think that, yeah, this is something that I want to see more often. I want to see a film that feels like it has actual talent behind it and not feeling like it's lazy, because this is the type of film that I feel like we just rarely ever get. I mean, we've had some really good movies to come out this year. I know people have been saying like most of the movies to come out this year have been pretty bad. I don't really agree with that. I feel like there is a good amount of movies to call some of the best that this year has to offer, and this is definitely one of them. I can definitely say, in terms of One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson definitely won this battle. I know what you're thinking. Did I like it more than Sinners? I'm gonna have to think really hard about that, because we only got it's close to the end of September. We got October, November, 3 more months till I do the best of the year list. But I can definitely say that there's no denying this is definitely going to get Oscar buzz. I mean, I can see it now. Paul Thomas Anderson getting nominated for Best Director, Leo Best Actor, Sean Penn Best Supporting Actor, and movie Best. I see it getting nominated for those categories. Also the music too. The music was also really spot on. Yeah, there's a lot about this movie I gave it a perfect score, so pretty much everything about it worked. But I hardly had any real problems with the movie. Like, I can't really think of, there was this one thing that happened towards the end of the movie that I was kind of confused by, but it managed to explain it in a way that I was able to understand. So that doesn't count for me. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are you going to see it this weekend? I highly recommend checking it out. It really deserves your support. And Warner Brothers has really been winning me over this year with this, Sinners, Weapons. Yeah, they've been really surprising me. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, maybe subscribe for more. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or maybe Blue Sky. Links are in the description. And I'll see you guys later. Word out.